Assemblymember El Hawari.
Addie, you are my hero. But also, I just really appreciate just the importance and thoughtfulness of being able to really look at how we ensure that allergens are on, restaurant menus, especially being thoughtful around the type of restaurants. But I did want to ask, just in terms of that one sentence, if there are thoughts that you have as the author around why that might have been left out, and if there's possibility of being able to add it.
So what we did was added the liability language that was requested by us from CRA. It didn't have exactly everything word for word, but what we came up with was after it was vetted by both the Assembly and the Senate Judiciary committees to make sure that this was in line with current law. What we weren't looking to do was to diminish current law or add to current law. So this is the status quo liability clause that is included in other statutes that we have. So we left it as is, as the status quo.
Assemblymember Schiavo.
Thank you so much, Addie, for your leadership. Senator Menjivar has a knack for finding young, brilliant kids to do bills with. And I'm really grateful for this bill. My kiddo has a dairy allergy, and it's true you can't. Luckily it's not anaphylactic, but you can't trust what people tell you at the restaurant because they can forget. They can forget a kind of flour that is used, or a lot of times they don't think of butter as dairy for some reason. I don't understand why. And for us, it can be a really miserable night and completely change plans. And if you're traveling, make life very, very difficult. But when we were traveling in Europe and found that things were on the menu, it made a world of difference for our experience to be able to trust that that my kid could eat. It's something that unfortunately we're behind on, and will make such a difference in people's lives and literally protect lives. So very grateful for this bill. Happy to move it today.
Assemblymember Gonzalez.
Just out of curiosity, has any, and I have not read if that particular piece was in there, on menus specifically in other languages as well, or is it just in English?
That's a great question, Assemblymember. We haven't been asked a question on language. It's whatever the language of the menu is, it's going to be matching that language.
Just out of curiosity, just because of
Yeah.
Spanish especially, sometimes we forget, like, oh, wait, we are allergic to that.
Assemblymember, the bill stays is silent and doesn't specify on that issue, but it is.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Consider as well. Well, Senator, thank you so much for bringing forward this bill. I want to also thank Ms. Jordan for your testimony as well. And I think just to the opposition, Mr. Sutton, we went back and forth a few rounds on trying to strike the right balance with making sure that we weren't creating anything that was too onerous, particularly for the independent, smaller restaurants that we know. It may seem like a simple thing to change a menu, but there's dollars and costs and time associated with that. And I believe that we struck a balance that is workable for now. And while I appreciate the concerns around the additional sentence, for the sake of the Assembly Health Committee, that issue is kind of asked and answered on the Senate side in Judiciary, and we were able to amend kind of in concordance with what had already been discussed with on the Senate side, and that is our pattern of practice. So while I appreciate that, I also think that there's some duplicative language with that additional sentence that exists in current law, and felt like we were able to make sure that negligence standard would be addressed with existing law. Addie, thank you for being an incredible 9-year-old who's able to tell your story. And I just want to say that the things that resonated most with me in your testimony was this idea that I have to trust what they say with my life, which is incredibly powerful. And the simple idea of wanting to be able to dine allergen-free, I can certainly resonate with. My mother has a very severe allergy to pepper. So you can imagine the conversations that we have to have. And 9 times out of 10, after a 20-minute conversation, to be able to figure out how to order a salad, as simple as that, chances are that something that she has eaten and consumed with the best of intentions, the greatest amount of care from the servers and the restaurant, the chef, the owners of the restaurant, can often result in her having a severe response to that. So I want to thank you for representing my mother, Addie, in this moment as well, with your advocacy around this piece of legislation. Senator, I know that you've taken the amendments that we have offered to this committee, and with that, would you like to close?
Thank you so much. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for bringing something up, Assemblymember Gonzalez. Thank you to my witness, Addie and Robin, for being so engaged in this. We know that this isn't the end all, but we do know that when customers are informed, when customers inform their staff, when customers inform waiters of their allergies, 53.9% of reactions still occur. When menus clearly show allergens, declare allergens, that number drops down to 26.6%. When you combine showing it on the menu and having a conversation, it drops down to 13 to 14%. It's a combination of everything. This isn't a sole magic pill that's going to stop all allergies from happening in California, but it's going to bring some great relief for the 4 million Californians like me, like Addie, who every day have to make sure what you're offering us is safe for us to eat. And with your support today coming out of Assembly Committee on Health, we can make sure we bring that additional support to the 4 million Californians, respectfully asking for an aye vote.
I think we have a motion. Do we have a second? Second from Rodriguez. Secretary, please call the roll.
Madam Chair, I do have a quick question and a comment.
Go ahead.
I wanted to express my gratitude for bringing this bill forward. We have many community members who have extreme allergies, especially for families with young children. Learning to navigate that health space can be very challenging, and having a transparent way to express that is great. I had initial concerns around what about like the corner deli and some other like smaller market type, the grocery store, countertop, restaurant that we have in our ethnic communities. But I saw that you had made provisions to allow for a very simple way, a tiered way that our smaller businesses and our ethnic markets can accommodate this new protection for our community members. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Making sure that our businesses can comply is very important as we bring new legislation forward. With that, I will support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Secretary, please call the roll.
The motion is due pass as amended to appropriations. Bonta.
Aye.
Bonta, aye. Chen. Addis. Aguiar Curry. Aguiar Curry, aye. Caloza. Caloza, aye. Rogers. Rogers, aye. Flora. Gonzalez. Gonzalez, aye. Ahawari. Ahawari, aye. Patel. Patel, aye. Ellis. Ellis, no. Rodriguez. Rodriguez, aye. Sanchez. Schiavo. Schiavo, aye. Sharp Collins. Stephanie. Stephanie, aye.
That measures out. Thank you so much.